Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Abby. We're going to be doing an all over yoga flow just for everything. And at the end, I'm going to offer the option to do a supported child's pose for Shavasana. So feel free to grab a couple of big poofy pillows, maybe a bolster if you have one in your practice. And if blocks or books are a part of your practice, go ahead and grab those now too. Meet you on the mat in an easy seat. Taking a minute to settle into your space. Maybe your hands come to the tops of your knees. Maybe you allow your eyes to soften down to the ground. Maybe they come all the way to a close. Taking a minute to check in with the body. Maybe inviting a gentle scan in from the top of the head, through the face, the eyebrows, the cheekbones, the jaw, the back of the head, the neck, the tops of the shoulders, down the arms, through the elbows, through the forearms, the wrists, the palms of the hand, the fingertips, down the back, through the shoulder blades, down the spine to the hips, down the front of the body, the lungs, the abdomen, coming back to the hips, then down through the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the heels, the bottom of the feet, the top of the feet, and the toes. Checking in to see, am I holding anything? Can I release? Can I drop my shoulders a little bit more away from my ears? Can I stretch up through the top of my head a little bit more? Can I release my jaw? Maybe one hand comes on your torso, one hand on your chest. Breathing in and expanding the hand that's over your navel. Exhaling and compressing the hand that's over your navel. Throughout the practice, I invite you to come back to this deep breath. This nourishing breath. Maybe the hands come back to the tops of the knees. Maybe we start to flutter our eyes open a little bit, coming back into the room. Beautiful, you guys. Take a minute and stretch your left hand out to the side. We're going to sweep our right hand up and over, leaning into the right hand. Exhale, plant the right hand. Sweep the left hand up. Exhale, lean deeper. Back to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, plant the hand. Leaning in. Inhale up. Exhale, plant and lean in. Go ahead and flow through 2 more of those at the pace of your own breath. And release. Beautiful. Coming back to the left hand planted on the mat, go ahead and put your right hand on the top of your head. Inhale while you stretch up. And exhale, drop the right ear towards your right shoulder. Thinking about lengthening. The right hand is guiding, it's not pulling, it's not adding weight. Breathing into the side of the neck. Allow your next inhale to guide you back up. Turn the head to a 45-degree angle. And with your next exhale, we're going to drop that chin towards that armpit. Again, just guiding. Inhale back up. Come to center. Maybe roll out your shoulders a little bit. Inhaling up, exhaling back and down. Beautiful. This time we're going to stretch the right hand out on the side of the mat next to us. Left hand comes on top of the head. And allow your next exhale to guide your left ear down towards that left shoulder. Go ahead and inhale, bringing your head back up. And then turn the head to a 45-degree angle. Exhale, drop that chin. Inhale and send the breath to the long side of the neck. Inhale back up to center. And this time, let's do some shoulder rolls in the opposite direction. So inhale, back and up. Exhale, drop it forward. Inhale, back and up. Flow through those at the pace of your own breath for a few minutes. Not minutes, seconds. For a few breaths. And then settling back to stillness. When you're here, let's inhale and pull our shoulders as close up to our ears as we can. And then exhale just release them. Release the hands to the floor. Allow your back to round a little bit. Just really letting go. Again, inhaling up. Everything is coming up. Pulling it as close together as we can. Exhale, release. Dropping it down and back. One more up. And exhale, drop it down. Beautiful. We're going to make our way to our hands and knees for our tabletop position. Coming into this pose, we're just looking for hands to be underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And then when you're there, we're going to go through a few gentle cat-cows. Inhale, dropping your back towards the floor, tipping the nose up. And exhale, rounding the back, chin drops down. Inhale, tipping up. Exhale, rounding the back. Inhaling up. Exhale, rounding. Go ahead and do 2 more of those at the pace of your own breath. And then, when you're ready, coming back into stillness. Maybe you take a second and bring your right ear towards your right hip and right shoulder, kind of making a little C crunch. And then maybe you go on the left side, pulling everything together. Inhale, center. Exhale, pull all the right side together. Inhale, center. Exhale, pull the left side together. One more on each side. And coming back to stillness. Beautiful. We're going to do our first child's pose of the day. So go ahead and send your hips back towards your heels. Your knees can be wide or they can be together. Wherever you are, just check in with the toes, see that they're touching. And then maybe you bring your forehead to the ground. If the ground is too intense of a sensation, you can always come to a block. Or if you want a little bit more sensation, you can always grab 2 blocks or books and place your hands on them. Whatever variation your body is asking for today. Maybe you take a moment and stretch one hand out a little bit farther, and then the other hand a little bit farther, creating a little bit more space. Again, maybe you rub that forehead back and forth a little bit. We're going to stay in this pose, but change it a little bit. Take your right hand and thread it underneath your left armpit for a variation of thread the needle. Your right hand can be open faced, palm open to the ceiling. Right cheek on the ground. Inhale, bring the right hand back up and place it in front of you. We're going to do that again on the opposite side. Bring the left hand through your right armpit. Left cheek comes on the floor. And with your next inhale, bring the left hand back in front of you on the mat. With our next inhale, we're going to come up to tabletop again. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to do the full version of thread the needle, stretching your right hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through, planting that right cheek on the ground. Left hand can come out in front of you on the mat, or it can stay in front of your nose. Maybe it comes behind you for a twist. If it's behind you, the left hand can come to your right hip or anywhere in that vicinity. Go ahead and plant that left hand back in front of your nose. Use it to push yourself up and gently bring the right arm back up towards the ceiling. And then plant it back on the ground. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Left hand stretches up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, thread it through the armpit, dropping your left cheek to the floor. Checking in here to see what arm variation your body is asking for on this side. Maybe stretched out in front of the face or a twist. Checking in with the breath. Am I breathing? Can I release my jaw? Go ahead and plant the right hand back in front of the face. We're going to push up gently and then bring that left hand back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release. Go ahead and take a minute to kind of just move your hips and your shoulders back and forth a little bit for that final waking up of the spine. Maybe even do a few barrel rolls, tracing an O with your head and your hips. Inhaling when you come up. Exhaling when you come down. And if you're doing barrel rolls, maybe you reverse it now. Coming back into stillness. Go ahead and take a moment to make sure that your hands are right underneath those shoulders. Knees are under the hips. We're going to visualize having a flat back. And once we're stable in our table, we're going to stretch our left hand out and our right hand. And if this doesn't feel right in your body, then maybe today you play with lifting the foot, the left foot off the floor and the left hand off the floor at the same time, playing with your balance, seeing what that feels like. And maybe you lift it up, creating a straight line. Breathe here. And release it back down to the floor. We're going to do that on the opposite side. Maybe you just take a moment to shake out your right wrist. Maybe giving it a little bit of a roll. Maybe a little bit of a shake to the side. We're going to do the same thing with the right hand, left foot. I might have said the wrong foot before, but we're doing opposite hand, opposite foot. Go ahead and float the hand and the foot over the ground, thinking about drawing that navel up to your spine. Maybe you play with maintaining your balance while you hover today, or maybe you pick it up. Wherever you are, breathing there. And release. Take a moment to shake out that left hand. Maybe you roll it a little bit. Maybe you shake it out to the side. And then send your hips back for child's pose. While you're in child's pose, maybe you play with tenting your hands in front of you, bringing it up so that you're on your fingertips, making a kind of tent. And maybe you walk your tent forward just a little bit. Inhale, rising up. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring your right foot through between your hands. Beautiful. You're welcome to bring in your blocks or books if you'd like to have them to support you in this pose. Knee can be at a right angle. It can be a little bit forward, wherever it needs to be. And then when you're ready, inhaling, bringing the arms up, or they can stay at those blocks. Maybe you stretch up towards the ceiling, drop your shoulders while reaching and stretching. And exhale, release the hands. Send your hips back for half splits. We're long through the spine. Just taking a moment to note if there's sensation and where it is in the body. Maybe taking a moment and sending the breath there. Beautiful. With our next inhale, we're going to tuck our back toes and push up into our forward fold. Or you can arrive here any way you would like. Generous bend in the knees. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Maybe your hands are planted on the ground. Just taking a minute to allow everything to hang, to just fall forward. Everything on the bottom half is strong and rooted and secure. Everything on the top half is relaxed and releasing. Go ahead and plant your left hand on the floor in front of your face. We're going to stretch the right hand up to the ceiling. The left knee is going, one of your knees is going to bend. The left knee is going to bend. Your right knee might stay bent or it might straighten a little bit. Twisting up towards the ceiling, gaze follows the hand. Exhale, drop it down, release. Maybe you shake your head. Yes. Maybe you shake it no. And now let's plant the right hand on the floor. We're going to twist to the left, opening that left side up towards the ceiling. Right knee is going to bend a little bit more. Gaze can follow the hand. Exhale, drop the hand back to the ground. Beautiful, you guys. Maybe just taking a minute to just rock it out here. Maybe you play with putting the weight a little bit more on your toes. Maybe it's a little bit more in the heels. Noticing how that changes it. And then maybe finding the middle ground between those two. With our next inhale, we're going to do a halfway lift. Thinking about having that tabletop back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. We're going to stand really slowly, one vertebra at a time. Slowly rolling it up. And then coming to mountain pose. Shoulder blades are pinching together. We're strong. We're stretching down through our fingertips. Stretching up through the top of the head, grounding down through the feet. Opening our chest up to the ceiling. Breathe here. And exhale, swan dive, bringing your arms back behind you, keeping them flat with your back for a moment until just releasing them to the ground. Beautiful. Maybe you grab elbows again. Breathing here. Go ahead and plant both hands on the mat or on blocks. We're going to bend our left knee, step our right foot back, and come into low lunge on the left side, or the opposite side of whichever one you did last time. Knee can stay at a 90-degree angle, or you can come a little bit forward, wherever your body is asking to be today. Take a minute to settle in. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, sweeping the arms up and over, stretching up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, maybe drawing those shoulder blades together again, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bring the hands forward. We're going to push back into half splits. You might need to walk your foot forward, or it might stay where it is. We're thinking about creating that long line again from the hips through the top of the head. Go ahead and release that foot back to join the other. We're going to push back to child's pose. Sending those hips way back. Taking a minute and settling in. And then taking a moment to set your knees so that they're about hips width distance apart in child's pose if they're not already. We're going to do a flow from child's pose to baby cobra. So with our next inhale, come up, leaning forward. We're going to make sure our hands are underneath our shoulders, lowering ourselves down nice and slowly, and then drawing the shoulder blades together. We're lifting our chest, the top part of the chest off the ground, stretching through the top of the head. Maybe toes come off the floor just a little bit. Then release the toes, release the nose to touch the floor. Inhale, and with your exhale, push yourself back to child's pose. Beautiful, you guys. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, coming forward. Hands under shoulders. Exhale. Lowering your torso to the ground. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together, stretching up. Tops of the feet can stay on the mat, or if you want, you can raise them just a little bit. Exhale, release the nose to the mat. Inhale, push up. Exhale, drop back into your child's pose. We're going to sit here for a second and then do one more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, draw shoulder blades together. Stretching through the top of the head. Elongating the whole back of the body. Exhale, release. Inhale, push up. Exhale, drop back into child's pose. And maybe this time you try a variation of child's pose, bringing your knees together, allowing the top of your torso to fall open, allowing your back to really open as your shoulders fall over the knees. Hands come back towards the feet. Beautiful, you guys. Inhale, coming up to tabletop. We're going to make our way down onto our back. Maybe if you have any props nearby, you can just set them to the side so that we don't hit them. And then lowering yourself one vertebra at a time, or however you like to arrive. Go ahead and take a minute and just hug your knees into your chest once you're on your mat. Maybe you rock your hips back and forth, walking them out a little. Taking a minute to check in with the breath. Am I still breathing deeply? Can I drop my shoulders a little bit more away from my ears? And then when you're ready, we're going to do Happy Baby. So bringing your feet out to the side. You can grab either your feet, you can grab your shins, anywhere that you are being, any way that you feel comfortable doing it. You can put your peace fingers around your big toes. And maybe you're still, or maybe take a minute and rock it out back and forth. And then bring the knees back in together. Give them a little hug. And then with them both together, we're going to drop them both towards the right side for a supine twist. Left hand can come out straight, or maybe it makes a cactus arm. Gaze can follow the left arm. Your right hand can be guiding your left knee, not pushing, just guiding. Or it can be stretched out to the side as well, mirroring the left arm. Inhale back up through center. Hug those knees again. And then we're going to drop them to the left. Stretching the right arm out to the side. Gaze can follow. Seeing what variation your body is asking for on this side. Arm stretched out or cactus arm. Inhale back to center. And then go ahead and take any last movements that you need before we set up for Shavasana. Maybe you take a full body stretch. Maybe you flex the toes and bring them in towards each other and roll them away from each other. Just rolling out the feet, maybe pointing the toes. And then when you're ready, I'd like to offer this variation of child's pose. For your Shavasana, you can grab your bolster or a couple of your big fluffy pillows, whatever you have at home, and come in to tabletop around it, bringing it to be about halfway up your thighs or wherever it's comfortable. It can be more out, it could be more in. Again, you're welcome to take any variation of Shavasana your body is asking for today. This is one option. And when you're ready, coming into rest with your torso on top of the bolster or pillows. Taking a minute to be supported and held up. We're going to be in this Shavasana for about 4 minutes. I'll let you know if you're in child's pose. I'll let you know when to switch sides, so you can switch which cheek is laying down on the bolster. And I'll be here to guide you out. you're in child's pose, go ahead and switch which cheek is laying on the bolster or pillow. Whatever position you're in, maybe you gently start to push up or roll onto your side. Taking a minute to shift onto one hip or the other. If you were in child's pose, maybe you take a minute and stretch your feet out on the ground in front of you. Windshield wiper those feet back and forth a little bit. Maybe even bring them mat's distance apart and just take a minute to bring them in one at a time. Thank you so much for taking this time to join me today. I look forward to seeing you next time.